Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something truly fascinating, Taoist inner alchemy. Now, when you hear alchemy, you're probably thinking of bubbling potions and trying to turn lead into gold, right? Well, forget all that. This is about a much deeper, much more profound kind of transformation, one that happens entirely inside you. So let's go ahead and open the door to this inner laboratory. So let's just start with this one question. What if your body wasn't just, flesh and bone, but was actually a sacred laboratory? A place where you could refine your own energy, your mind, and your spirit to create something, well, something extraordinary. This is the core idea, the central metaphor we're going to be exploring. Okay, so before we can even start working in this inner lab, we need to understand the blueprint. We need to get the layout of the universe it's all based on. And it all really starts with one huge foundational idea. At the very heart of everything is the Tao. The best way to think of it is as this indescribable, ever-flowing essence of the entire universe. It's not some god you pray to, but more like the natural underlying pattern and rhythm of existence itself. So the goal isn't to control it, but to learn how to move with it, to align with it. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Taoist sages didn't see some big separation between us and the universe. They saw the individual, the microcosm, as a perfect miniature reflection of the entire cosmos, the macrocosm. That means all the universal principles, all the energies, all the cycles, they're all happening right inside you right now. And this perspective is just captured so perfectly in this quote. The journey of alchemy, then, isn't about looking outside of yourself for some secret answer. It's all about tending to this vast, complex universe that already exists within you. It's about bringing your inner world into perfect harmony with the outer one. Okay, so if your body is a laboratory, what are the raw materials we're working with? In Taoist alchemy, these are known as the three treasures, and they're absolutely essential. Let's break them down. First up, we have Jing. This is our fundamental physical essence. You can think of it as our deep constitutional energy, kind of like the wax of a candle. Then there's Qi, the vital energy or life force that animates us. That's the flame of the candle. And finally, you have Shen, which is our spirit or consciousness, the actual light that radiates out from that flame. And here's the crucial part. These three aren't separate things at all. They're deeply, deeply interconnected. You just can't have one without the others. Jing is that deep reservoir of fuel. Qi is the active energy it produces, and Shen is the beautiful, refined awareness that emerges when they're in balance. Harmonizing these three is the key to the whole shebang. Now we get to the really good stuff, the great work, as they call it. So where does this transformation actually happen, and what are the techniques we use to get it done? And this brings us right back to our main idea. You are the alchemist. Your body is the sacred space for this work. It's through practices like meditation and focused breathing that you learn to consciously work with those three treasures inside your own personal laboratory. Within this laboratory, there's a very specific focal point, the inner cauldron. Now, this is an energetic center, usually located in the lower abdomen, an area known as the lower dantian. This is where all the alchemical cooking happens. It's the furnace where Jing gets refined into Qi. So how do we heat this cauldron? Well, the main technique for refining these energies is the microcosmic orbit. This is a practice that involves circulating your qi in a continuous loop up your back and down the front of your body, creating this amazing, self-sustaining energetic circuit. But, and this is really important, as the expert Damo Mitchell explains, this isn't some mental exercise you can just force to happen. It's a natural phenomenon. It's something that awakens on its own as your internal energy becomes more refined and balanced. You're cultivating a process, not just imagining one. So, how does this circuit actually work? Well, the energy, the qi, is guided up what's called the governing vessel, which runs along the spine. Then it descends along the conception vessel right down the front of the body. This completes the loop, creating a full orbit that powerfully harmonizes the body's yin and yang energies. All right, this brings us to the final part of our journey. What is the ultimate goal of all this work? What exactly is the alchemist trying to create in that inner cauldron? In all the classical alchemy stories, the goal is often called the philosopher's stone or the elixir of immortality. But you've probably guessed by now, in Taoist inner alchemy, these terms take on a much, much deeper symbolic meaning. Master Zhang puts it perfectly here. The elixir isn't some physical potion that lets you live forever. No, it's an internal achievement, something forged within your own energetic center. It's really about becoming the master of your own inner world, your own destiny. So what this all comes down to is realizing that the golden elixir is a beautiful metaphor. It represents a state of spiritual awakening, a highly refined consciousness, and this deep, profound, harmonious integration with the natural flow of the universe, with the Tao. The real treasure here, the real prize, isn't about living forever. It's about living better. The ultimate outcome is a state of being where your body, your energy, and your spirit are so incredibly balanced and integrated that you just experience a profoundly harmonious existence, perfectly aligned with the world around you. Ultimately, this isn't some destination you just arrive at one day. It's a continuous journey of refinement, kind of like constantly weaving an intricate tapestry of transformation. And that leaves us with one final thought to ponder. What threads of essence, energy, and spirit will you choose to weave into your own life?